was easy to get the air intake box in with the gas tank removed. I just slid it in from the back and it went in real nice. I've got both my blow off and boost lines right there. I will be hooking those up. I am still debating on where to mount my fuel controller, and that will determine how I route my wires and such. So this accessory port right here, I went up to 80 SSS today and picked up the awesome accessory for my glove box, which is going to be my USB, so that I can actually be charging my phone and whatnot in the glove box as I'm riding, which also gives me the pigtail for that port so that I do not have to cut that off. So for roughly $45 plus some change, you get this nice cool accessory with the additional ports. Kind of mocked up the charge tube coming off the turbo, and I don't have anything tightened down yet, just more of a getting everything to fit correctly. I did trim the bottom of that silicone tube, probably a good 3/4 of an inch on the PTO side, and seems to fit a lot better. Plus it gave me more room right up here, so the tube has better clearance. So we're looking at the where we're going to tie the oil lines into. So basically we've got to get underneath this wiring harness to get to the oil lines that feed the rave valves. So as you can see, there's a bunch of zip ties, but these lines, that line there and that line right there, those are the two lines that we'll be tapping into to get the oil to the turbo. I pretty much exposed the oil lines right there. If you can see that brass fitting, I've clipped off the little clamp that was holding that on. I'm going to take a razor blade and just slice that down so it comes off nice and easy off there, and I'll put my barbed coupler in right there and attach this other end to that. It goes to the turbo side, and then on the PTO side, what I have done is come down here, removed some of the split loom, exposed the line right here. I'm not going to remove it. I'm just going to make a little, I'm going to cut the line right here and put the T-fitting in and run this over to the mag side. And there we go, as it's cut off. Now I've got this little barb fitting that will go in this side. And the oil feed line to the turbo. I'm just going to kind of measure it, and I'm going to give me enough slack that I can make this, you know, zip tie it up or zip tie it down here so it looks, I don't have lines going everywhere. So I'll go ahead and get that done and get this connected, put the zip, 2 zip ties around each side, the split loom back over, and this side will be done, and then we will go and do the little T-fitting to feed the PTO side. Alright, so as you can see, I've got the T-fitting in place that is feeding my oil line to the both PTO and mag cylinder, and then I have my other line that I am going to tuck up underneath here after I get the wiring harness back in place. And it there was no oil in it. I did fill it full of oil. The oil drained into the turbo, unfortunately. Alright, I want to talk a little bit more about the different wiring harnesses that we have here. This is the one that I've purchased from Ski-Doo. I've talked a little bit about that one. That is the USB port. And then these 2 cables go to the air fuel mixture. This one plugs into the O2 sensor. This is your power that powers that up. This one here is the supplied wiring harness from Turbo Performance. And what they've done is they've broken this out so that those are your connectors, your ground and power for your different devices. So these 2 here will plug into there. This down here will plug into the fuel box and power up the fuel box. So we have a gauge, a fused link there, which is always nice and always safe to do. Alright, so I went ahead and removed the coil pack off the top of the oil tank, pulled the wires out front, just easier to access. Takes honestly 30 seconds to do. This way I can actually work a lot better. Alright, got all the wiring all done. These ones you do not use. The brown, the yellow, gray, orange, and green. So what I did is I actually put some shrink tube on the ends of them, shrunk them down, and I'm going to tape this all up. So basically you've got your red wire, your black wire, and your yellow and black that goes to your coil. That's the only things that go into your fuel module. Back to this, we need to hook it up. The fuel line's a little bit longer, so you just have to kind of work it in. But the blue one on first. Remember, it's an 8mm. Ratchet real fast. And now we'll just kind of slide the tank forward as it's going, and then I'll do the black one. And don't forget to hook up your power harness. Clip, clip. Like I said, it's a tight fit, but it will. Might need to come around to the other side and kind of work the fuel filter up in.